Hey, what's going on? And this is the Kingdom Principle for Franchise Mindset. I'm Keith. You've been hearing from my lovely wife, Stanya. So I'm here to break down some of the Kingdom Principles in terms of having a franchise mindset. So if you got your download, go ahead and open it up and we'll kind of just follow along. So vision comes before multiplication. I don't know about you, but I was pretty nice when it comes to adding. Okay. When I put one and one together, I knew it made two. And 5 plus 5 equals 10. You can see I'm pretty good at this thing, right? But the one thing that I had to learn was my multiplication. Why? Multiplication was a challenge on the front end for me because when you multiply, you're jumping skips and leaps and bounds. Think about it. When I said 5 plus 5, we knew that it equals 10, but 5 times 5 equals 25. So God, in his infinite intelligence and his super cool beingness, he is able to multiply things. When you think about it, in Genesis, it told us to be fruitful. A fruit is a seed that has it's a seed, and a fruit is a living organism, and it's a living organism whose seed is inside of itself. You never get an orange with one seed. You get an orange that produces a multitude of seeds, and those multitude of seeds could lead to a whole entire orange grove. So for you and your business, me and my business, there's order and there's multiplication to happen, but it comes with that one seed to start. And so that one seed for you is when you started your business, you created some type of structure, you created some type of plan or blueprint. It started off here, but now we're trying to take it from here to paper. Because when you have paper, when you look at in Proverbs here, it says, commit your actions to the Lord and your plans will succeed. When you have plans, when you have a way of doing things, you have a blueprint for success. You know how to tweak, you know how to change things to make it to get to better, to be to the next level, right? And so here's what I do like when you think about this kingdom principle, that vision comes from a multitude, right? When you and I are both planning, when you and I are both, creating systems, we can do this. We can take the system and we can hand it to someone. Someone could run with it. Another scripture says this in Habakkuk 2 verses 3. It says, write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets so that the herald may run with it. So that means, like, hey, you write down the vision, you write down the secret sauce. So if someone comes in and says, hey, yo, I can take over for you, you can hand them the secret sauce and the sauce still comes out. Mwah! And that's what I want for your business. If you want to take that vacation, if you want to take that day off, if you want to take a chance to just breathe, you can have that when you have your system. Think about it like this from a kingdom standpoint. God showed us when he created the whole entire world. He did it in 7 days. Each of those 7 days had a rhythm, it had a cadence, it had a system in which he did. He spoke and then it became. He spoke and it became. Then he rests. So for you, I want you to have rest in your business. I want you to thrive in your business. I want you to go to the next level, but it comes from having a system. And those system means you got to write it down first. You got to have the plans. You got to execute it. So let's talk about your challenge as a leader. So here's your challenge. Your challenge, I want you to take one of your processes and write it down clearly so someone else can follow it. And here's a real step of a leader. How about you write it down, you give it to someone, you show them how to do it, you watch them do it, right? And then you let them do it on their own. Then you come back to inspect it. And if they get it done right, if they can do it, let's say 70 to 80% as good as you, guess what you can do? You can take it off your plate. So hopefully that's helpful for you. Hopefully it added value to you. You know, that's our heart here at Rise Above Consulting, is to give you value. All right. So make sure you apply that kingdom principle, and we'll see you in the next video.